Hello, and welcome back to the channel. It's your girl, Alan Terrell. Before we get into this situation, I want to ask you to share, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down in the comments if what I'm talking about resonates with you. So, right now, we're not going to do anything with cards. I just want to talk about something that I've been guided to bring to everyone's attention. I know most times everyone wants to find out about love and what they should be doing and how they can attract love, but let's take a moment of pause here. Let's talk about our shadows. We all have them. Whether you're famous, poor, middle class, it doesn't matter. No one can say they haven't experienced some type of trauma in their life because being birthed in itself is a trauma. Okay? Um, the whole idea of being birthed is traumatic. So imagine we're in our mother's stomachs for 9 months growing. That's the only thing that we know. And then one day there's a light and we're ripped out of the warmth and comfort of our mother's womb. And then we're thrown into this earth and, you know, pressured to take that first breath. That is traumatic. You don't know what's going on. You don't know where you are. You just know that you're not in the place that once gave you comfort. So while we all want to look to the spirit for advice about love and money and what should we do next, what about acknowledging your shadow and tending to it? People are out here committing crimes, passing messed up laws, encouraging division because we haven't worked on accepting who we are and doing our shadow work. So now you've lost control of your shadow to the point where not even your ego can control it. Okay? Be proud of who you are and what you've become, even when you don't like the real you. So if you're a freak, say you a freak. If you're an alcoholic, say you a alcoholic. If you're negative, say you're negative. I don't care what it is, accept it. You know what I'm saying? Accept who you are, deal with who you are. If you can't deal with yourself when you're by yourself, how are other people going to deal with you? It's impossible. Okay? I just feel like when I was going through my journey and everything, and I was becoming more spiritual, and I was allowing myself to fall into who I should be and what I should be doing, you know, I'm not bullshitting you because I'm learning from the best, and the best is God. You know, I've I've been guided by Him. I've been shown things by Him, and I had like this crazy experience where I don't even know if this was the presence of Jesus or if it was the presence of Yahweh, but I had an experience where I had this dream and I was brought to a mirror and I was told, look at yourself, accept all of you. We're not accepting all of ourselves. Okay, we're only accepting the part of ourselves that we like or what we feel is approving to others, and then hiding the rest. Okay, and that's not gonna help anyone. It's not gonna help your children. It's not gonna help the people we come into contact with or interact with. It's not gonna help people if you're a lawmaker. You know what I'm saying? It's not even gonna help people if you're a platform person or if you're a celebrity, because guess what? You won't be teaching anyone nothing good. You just be teaching people like negative things and putting negative thoughts in people's minds because that's all you have in your mind. And that's wrong when people look up to a person and they feel like you've made it, so they look up to you and they want encouragement on how they can make their lives better because they feel like you're making your life better, but in all reality you're not even being honest with them because you're only showing the good parts of yourself. You're not accounting for the negative parts of yourself that you don't like. And that's what's causing us to blurt out things we shouldn't be blurting out, saying things we shouldn't be saying, and living in a low vibe and not elevating to our higher selves. Your shadow is a part of you, and it needs attending to too. Not just the nice part of you. It's like you're treating one kid nice because they're light and treating the next kid wrong. They're dark. You know, our shadow is a traumatic experiences that we've experienced throughout life, and it follows you. Literally, that's why we have a shadow. They say that your shadow blocks energy or light when when there's a light source around it, but in all reality, when you think about it, even when there is no light, you see a shadow. That's your bruised ego following you. And accepting, you're not accepting it. You're not you're not accepting the ego. You're not acknowledging the shadow. None of that. Okay? And then your ego is like bruised, and then the ego is so the shadow is so out of control and so unacknowledged now that not even your ego can control it. Because I believe we're a lower part of us, there's a middle part of us, and I believe there's a higher part of us. And a lot of people, where they claim they have mental health issues and things like that, come on, we live in America. America is like so cynical and so like disrespectful because this is supposed to be an evolved country of all countries, and we have all this technology, and we're about forth and forward moving, and then we are the same people that let mental health people wander the streets and be homeless so that they could take out their frustration and aggressions on other people instead of taking these people, getting to the bottom of their illnesses and what's going on with them and helping them and like removing that from the streets. Like, it's like almost as if America doesn't care about mental health and how it's affecting people, or these moms and other people reaching out to them about people who they feel have been exhibiting like some mental health issues, and they ignore it and ignore it and ignore it until this person goes ahead and shoots up a school, shoots up a mall, or kills some of their family members or kill their neighbors who's innocently doesn't have anything to do with what's going on with them. And like, that's sickening to me. Like, this country needs to pay more attention to what's really important. Like, in a few years, I've been really thinking about this. Like, the people who were born in like the 1900s, the 1950s, and all of that, pretty soon those people are going to be going out. And then we're going to be having now these current children here. And if they're all messed up, how they going to lead the world? What kind of world we going to have if we have a whole bunch of bruised, mental health issue people walking around? That's just ridiculous. And we need to hold ourselves accountable for that. You know, like, we need to hold ourselves accountable for the things that we're doing and for the things that we're not acknowledging about ourselves. You know, just because you're Zanai, open the door for them. They're on the porch. Just because there's something about yourself that you might not like doesn't mean that you have to keep it hidden and not acknowledge it. I mean, you don't have to acknowledge it to the world, but at least acknowledge it to yourself. When you feel like your ego is bruised, pet that shit. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? Make it understand why a situation didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? You have to acknowledge every part of you. Some of us live in that low vibe. We're always operating under that dark shadow. Some of us are okay with just being in the middle and not really taking charge and doing nothing, just like staying in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then some of us want to elevate towards higher levels. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So I was supposed to make this video like some time ago and I never made it because me too as a person have my own issues that I work with and have my self-doubt holding me back and things like that. We need to acknowledge ourselves. We're not perfect. We are not perfect. And no one is always sugary and sweet. No one is always sugary and sweet. So while we're being fake to ourselves and other people, walking around acting like we don't have any traumatic experiences that we've embedded deep inside ourselves, or that we don't have any issues holding us back and that life is perfect, we being fake. That's what that is. And like, people need to hold themselves accountable for what it is that they're responsible for in their lives and stop blaming other people. Yeah, somebody may have hurt you. Yeah, somebody may have wronged you. Maybe somebody may have backstabbed you, but that was that then and this is now. You don't have to hold on to that and feel like, oh, I'm going to be this way because everybody that comes after that is going to be like that or have some ulterior motive. Yes, it's a normal human trait to not want to trust people right away after someone has done wrong to you, but that's why we need to keep ourselves grounded and pray so that we know the difference between people who are coming in to destroy and wreak havoc in our life and for those who are coming in who want to build and move forward with us in unity. And it's like, I don't care who you are. You could be a politician. I believe even sometimes politicians sit here and make effed up laws based off of their experience and how they feel. Not even caring about how it affects people as a whole. Okay? Like, the prison system is needed, obviously, because there's some people who need help beyond mental health. Some people are just beyond help because they don't want to be helped. And that's okay, but that's their business. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even them have some traumatic situation that's going on that caused them to give up, that caused them not to care, that caused them to throw caution to the wind. And that's because they have deep-seated hurt that they have not acknowledged or resolved within themselves, and now they're taking it out on the world. And these politicians making laws need to make better laws about how they handle mental health situations in general. As a whole, they need to have a category for every type of mental health situation going on. Because, like, we all need help. And, like, we need to be able to acknowledge that we need help and we have shadows that need to be taken care of. You know? Like, if a person house is dirty, they not cleaning up, and, you know, they isolating themselves, we shouldn't be going and saying, oh, they nasty, they ain't cleaning up, they this and that. You should say, what's the matter? That's what we should say instead of passing judgment on people. You know what I'm saying? We're always passing judgment on everyone instead of trying to really find out what's the big picture. And then that makes people act awkward and then get more mental instability because now they feel weird because there's people pointing out their issue. They don't even know what's going on with them, and we're sitting here pointing out their issue, making fun of them. We're all guilty of this. And like, we just need to stop and like recognize that Not one or two person have mental health issues. Not one or like not 5 or 6 person have mental health issues. A lot of people have mental health issues because it stems from traumatic issues that we've gone through that we haven't healed from and that we're not acknowledging. That's why when you go to AA, I said this in one of my videos that I posted that I'm going to be posting. Why you think when you go to AA or any addiction class, they ask you to announce yourself and then the person says, I'm so and so and I'm an alcoholic. If you don't acknowledge what you are, how the hell you gonna heal from that? We need to get off our ass, stop acting like we're holier than thou when we know we not, and deal with our bullshit once and for all and just break free and just move forward and break this generational curse. Because not only do we have generational curses in our families, I believe that we have generational curses along with the areas we live in. Think about the tragedy connected to all these areas that we live in. And then we're moving on top of it, and some people is adding more tragedy to it. Maybe that's why the Bermuda Triangle drags and sucks down everything that passes through and by it. Because it's a traumatic place that hasn't been dealt with. And they just keep dumping more tragedies on top of tragedies. Or maybe it's a damn porthole. Who knows? The government does so many things and lies and hides so many things, like claiming that they're doing it for the general public. But who the hell are they to hide things from us that we could use to elevate and educate ourselves and go further? It's an agenda. Okay? It's an agenda to keep specific or certain type of mindset people in a certain type of mindset because other people profit off of it. And like people, if you want to stay sleeping, if you want to stay like blinded by all this shiny shit and all this misinformation that they're throwing at us, then so be it. Because some people, that's just the way that they are. They're gonna conform. And I'm not telling nobody to rise up and create any political unrest or anything like that. I'm saying for everyone, including politicians, everyone from every walks of life, we need to acknowledge our shadows, deal with our unresolved issues that we've buried deep down within us that periodically acts out without our control because we haven't dealt with it. That's what making people go out here and kill people and then saying, oh, it wasn't me, it was Patricia. Okay, Patricia is that damn shadow that hasn't been healed. And it's going to F you up any means necessary because you're not paying attention to it. It's a neglected stepchild. It's a neglected child. Okay? And we need to acknowledge it so that it doesn't get out of control and wreak havoc in our lives. That's why we call them mental health triggers. They're buried deep within us, and when certain people, places, or things approach us, it takes that negativity out of us. We have a negative reaction to that. Literally. Sometimes a person cannot just say something to you and you be like, just go to straight the F up off on that person. Because that person triggered you. You're not crazy. It's like unresolved issues embedded deep within you. That's why they need to be careful when they're sitting here calling people crazy. They're not crazy. They've been traumatized and it hasn't been healed and it hasn't been dealt with. And they don't know how to express themselves or even say that I'm having this issue. And therefore, so they gain attention in a different type of way. Going out serial killing people, blowing up shit, setting fires. All of these people are crying out for help. That's their shadow. Wanting to be acknowledged. However means necessary, even if it's negative. We need to acknowledge our shadows. We need to heal from our shadows. We need to also know that our shadows is a part of us and we can never get rid of it. It's literally a part of you. Your ego is a part of you. You cannot kill your ego. You need every single part of you in order to move forward and have a good experience here on earth. Because that's what we are. We are all alien beings having a human experience here on earth. This body is only physical and this body is only temporary, but your mind is forever. Your conscious and unconscious thoughts are forever. That's what we need to be working on. We need to align it. You do need to take care of your physical body, but we need to align everything. Every single thing. In order to have peace. In order to have movement. In order to eliminate negative thinking and negative behavior patterns. We need to acknowledge ourselves. You know? I'm so-and-so and I'm lazy sometimes. I'm so-and-so and I don't like to work. Okay, deal with that. And then maybe you can resolve that and you will like to work. Or you can resolve that and you won't be lazy if you deal with what's making you feel down. If you deal with what's making you feel low. If you deal with what's making you not want to progress. All of that. It's like you need to kung fu kick that negative shit out of your life. Because that's what the devil wants for you. He wants you to ignore your shadow so that he can use that shit against you one day. That's what he wants you to do. And then here God is sending people trying to help, sending people trying to, you know, bring light to the situation. And what they start saying, you're doing devil work. You're practicing Santeria or practicing dark magic. Or practice obia. I saw them ton. I saw people be. Anytime y'all do something, or anytime you're doing something that they don't understand, they want to call you crazy. Okay? Because it scares them. Okay? People don't want to acknowledge the truth. It's terrifying. But it's something that we have to do. You know, we can't, like, when something in our life happens, we can't avoid it. We can't go around it. We got to go through that shit. You got to go through it. And the only way you're going to go through that and be strong and come out standing is if you have God on your side. The devil is influencing all this negative shit. And some of us are allowing him to take charge. Even me at once was allowing him to take the wheel because I had nothing but devilish thoughts and doing devilish shit that I had no business doing. We've all been there. No one is perfect. And even if you don't physically do certain things, you think negative things. You think negatively about people. You think negatively about yourself. And we need to stop that shit. Because we're destroying ourselves. We're destroying the kids. We're teaching kids negative thought patterns and negative behaviors. We need to eliminate the way our parents raised us, if they raised you jacked up, and break that generational curse. And because that old way of thinking is outdated. This is no longer the 50s. This is no longer the 1900s. This is no longer the 1850s. This is a new time and a new era. We cannot use old rules for new times. Yes, we can use some of it, incorporate some of it, because some of it still makes sense. But some of it don't make a lick a bumbleclad sense. Some might not even need to fucking, excuse me French, some of it don't even need to come up. Because it's bullshit. And these older people need to recognize it. And then we always got to take, like, the information of older people. And then they're stuck in their ways, like these older lawmakers and stuff. Why the presidents always got to be old? Why do politicians always got to be old? Older people have outdated ways of thinking, and they don't like to listen to younger people because they're set in their ways, and that's not right. Because yes, some of the stuff, yeah, maybe it won't work, but you need to listen in order to incorporate and make better and new, so that we can make positive thinking people, and so we can make a stronger country in a whole. We don't just need to be America. We need to all be united and be unified and having healthy people, so that we could live in peace and harmony. What's wrong with that? I don't understand why people want to run down feeling hurt or make other people feel hurt because they feel hurt. That's not normal. That's unhealthy. And you're not dealing with yourself. And one day, your shadow is going to show up and you're going to end up in prison. Okay? Or you're going to end up in a foul, abusive situation that you wouldn't even go for had you been working on yourself and dealing with your shadow work. We don't deserve salt in relationships. We deserve sugar. If a person isn't treating you right, if a person has a messed up ideology, way of thinking, then you need to remove yourself from that person. State your case and then remove yourself. You don't have to accept abuse. Stop letting these people's abuse and stuck ways feel normal to you. Because older people that's been abused, they got you feeling that the fucked up shit that they're loading on you is normal. And it's not. And they don't even realize that they've been raised fucked up. And like, that's not for everyone. That's for some people, because some people's parents, some people's family is just woke. Because why? Their family some way along the line broke that generational curse. And now their family is rich, not only in money, but, and not all rich people this goes for, but their family is rich in spirituality, rich in functioning, rich in communication. It doesn't always mean money that you're rich. Love could make you rich. Having peace of mind can make you rich. Okay? So, I'm going to just leave it at that. I do have some more videos coming up. These are going to be celebrity reads that I've been guided to do. So, I have Miss Tina Knowles that I'm going to be doing a reading for. I have Michelle Williams that I'm going to be doing a reading for. I have Solange that I'm going to be doing a reading for. And I have Kelly Rowland that I'm going to be doing a reading for. So I've been intuitively, for some reason, guided to do their horoscope. So that is what I'm going to do. And everyone, I just want you to love who you are, accept who you are, whether you be an alcoholic, a freak, or a crackhead, or a sexual deviant, whatever you are, accept that shit, deal with that shit, heal that shit, and grow from that shit. And if you felt what I was saying, leave a comment down in the comment section. Remember to subscribe, help the channel out, get the algorithm of the channel going, and like if you like my antics and my shenanigans. So until the next time, love, peace, and light.